coverage as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Miami Dolphins. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Down. Quick, yellow. Ready.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Tua going to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Tua. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Walker now on 1st and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Kenneth Walker with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year.
And the Seahawks use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units in there. Kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now, get some points on this drive.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Now a handoff to Chandler.
Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Another first down there as this one goes for 25.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill.
Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Watson now to throw. He's got Turner. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mindset there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
On 2nd down, it's Walker.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
First carry of the game for Zamir White.
They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up fourth down.
On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
Taken in at the 22. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
After 7-0 on EA Sports. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now it's Watson.
Throw out wide to Walker. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Repeat of the last play, finding Walker. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 25 yards that time.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
To throw is Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. Set.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is. And
oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
After the interception, here's Watson. He completes this to Walker. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd and 2, Watson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Walker. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Watson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
After the sack, 3rd and goal now from the 12. Here's Watson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Seahawks. Garrett Wilson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Now for the point after. He's got it, and it's 17-0.
Makes the score Seahawks 17, Dolphins 9. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Here's Chandler on second down.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Tua.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. Caught by Turner.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there.
Straight ahead, Walker.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 24-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Sticking with Walker on second down. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try for the first with Walker. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The Seahawks send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now Hill to return it. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Okay,
the Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A 10-yard pickup. And it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Tua now on first down. This pass complete to Melton. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Chandler.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. He's able to find Melton. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Eluding the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room.
He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Here's Chandler.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Play action, now it's Tua. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag.
We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
So after the loss of down, they'll come up here with a 2nd and goal.
They run it with Chandler.
Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here we go.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Looking to pass. Tua. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Bo Melton, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be fielded inside the 5. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Seahawks. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
Another try after the first down sack. Tua. And going deep for Hill. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Watson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Now Watson. And that is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And this returnable for Hill. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 111 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From midfield, here's Tua. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Tua now on 1st down. And that's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Ready up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Tua going to throw. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Chandler. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Ty Chandler, 14 yards. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throw left side complete. That's Turner. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So the completion good for 7 there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On 4th down, Watson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
I can hear it right now that most people in our business are saying, why aren't they running the football? I happen to agree with this strategy. They've had success all game long. I don't think they should go away from it. Too often, teams go into that protect mode and end up giving away the football. This team has stayed aggressive and is working out for them.
They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Again, it's Watson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Well, he's got it inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 48 yards. And the Seahawks are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point safely through, and that will make this a 19-point game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, The second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Up the middle they go. Chandler, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Third and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. And my goodness, another interception. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
77 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
And going right back to Walker.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Ken Walker
with career touchdown number 70.
And the Seahawks extend this 4th quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11.
No problem there on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
On 1st and 10 is Spiller.
And some room to roam now.
It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
1st down, Seattle.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll go right back to Spiller here on 1st down.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd down, Spiller looking for space.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
They're going option play on 3rd down.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So holding on the offense, they go ahead and decline the penalty, and the ball will change hands on the fumble recovery.
Cluster 6. Ultra. Blue striker.
On first down, Tagovailoa. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 41.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like the game believed their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Partner, under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting